It was 3:47 a.m. when Mike's Slack pinged again. His manager in San Francisco had just one quick question. Mike stared at the message. He had already closed his laptop 2 hours ago on a Friday night, expecting the weekend to begin. But on this remote gig, weekdays blurred into weekends, and weekends almost never meant rest. 2 years earlier, things were different. Mike worked at a local software firm in East Legon. The pay was modest, just enough, but the hours were sane. 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. He had time to visit family, sleep through Saturday mornings, and even show up for birthdays and weddings. It wasn't much money, yes, but it came with respect, paid public holidays, stable contract, and the comfort of knowing his work matched his country's economy. But Mike had big dreams. He wanted more for himself, for his family, and for his future. He stayed up late, tailoring his CV, completed free Coursera courses, built demo projects to stack his GitHub. He believed if he could master every skill, he would lift his family out of the ordinary. And then came the LinkedIn message. A US startup loved his portfolio, loved his code, loved that he was self-driven in quote. They offered $1,500 per month, triple his local salary, fully remote, paid in dollars, and global exposure. Mike said yes before the call even ended. At first, it felt like freedom. No traffic, no boss hovering behind his shoulder, no annoying co-workers asking, "Please, can I borrow your charger?" He worked from home, designed his own schedule, or so he thought. Within weeks, the truth surfaced. The 8-hour workday stretched into 12 and 14 on some busy days. The product lead was in California, the designer in Spain, the CTO in Australia. Mike had to be available to all of them. Time zones, non-existent. Boundaries, highly disrespected. Sprint, deadlines, Slack pings, they never stopped. On Ghana's Independence Day, he took the day off. His manager messaged, "Hey, any reason you didn't show up for today's sprint planning?" Mike replied, "It's a public holiday in Ghana." A minute later, the response came, "Oh, we don't observe that. Can you make up for the hours this weekend?" That was the first time it hit Mike. Maybe I'm not as free as I thought, actually. Weeks turned into months. He started getting chest pains. His vision blurred after late night calls. He missed his cousin's wedding, fixing a bug at midnight. His body was breaking down, but he couldn't quit because he needed the money. And he was terrified of losing his job, that remote job that paid in dollars. Then came the real slap. While searching through the shared hard drive, Mike stumbled on something that looked like a colleague's pay stub. Same job, same output, $7,000 per month, plus benefits and health insurance. There was also paid leave. While Mike, he was just a contractor. No benefits, no HR rep, no legal protection. And he was expected to act like an employee, but he was treated like an outsider. Once, the CEO posted on LinkedIn, "Proud to have an international team. True diversity is global." Mike clicked like. Then he unliked it because there was nothing diverse about being exploited silently across borders. That night, after pushing one last commit, he opened his money tracker. $1,500 being paid, with its equivalent being 14,000 cedis. 2,500 cedis went to rent, 900 cedis to his mother in Kumasi, 800 cedis on food, transport and electricity, 500 cedis on laptop repair and random emergency, and 600 cedis on subscriptions and black tax. After everything, he had just over 5,000 cedis left. That was the price of working all night, of missing weddings, of being a global talent. And that's when he said it loud. This isn't a job. This is just modern slavery in disguise. Mike started digging, reading, watching, listening, and slowly he realized he wasn't alone. Thousands of African developers, brilliant, black, and bound by invincible chains, were going through the same thing. They called it opportunity, but it was just geographic wage arbitrage. Companies hiring from cheaper regions to cut costs, knowing the hires had no leverage. Mike found a small, quiet forum of African devs, sharing stories, frustrations, and unfair practices. One post on LinkedIn linked to a petition asking global companies to adopt fair labor practices for remote African workers. Mike signed it, then wrote a long anonymous post about his experience on a Burnout Twitter account. It went viral and spread. It got 12,000 signatures. Tech blogs picked it up. A journalist in Nairobi amplified the story. Then a major African tech publication. And Mike, he reached out to someone he hadn't spoken to in years. His uncle, who worked with the Ghana Ministry of Labour. His uncle read the post and said, "This is a serious issue. I'll talk to someone." In the months that followed, small changes began to take shape. A new draft policy was introduced. Not a law yet, but it was a signal. Companies operating in Ghana, even remotely, were being watched. His US company reached out. "We are updating our contractor guidelines to include local holidays and minimum compensation baselines. You would be moved to our international team support program." That night, Mike slept for 8 hours straight, the first time in months. He still works remote, still earns in dollars, still worries about bills, of course. He still feels like a modern slave sometimes, fettered by the always on schedule. And he knows real change takes time, but now he has boundaries. Now he knows his worth, and now he's helping others learn theirs too. Modern slavery doesn't always come with change. Sometimes it comes with opportunity, but it's the kind where you give everything and still feel like you owe them more. For every Mike, there are 1,000 more, skilled, undervalued, and searching for solutions. If you enjoyed this story, click the like button and subscribe for more captivating African stories.
Up next is the story of Somto, a boy who became the head of the house overnight, only to find out his uncles had other plans.